Practice telling your stories. Which words sound good when you say them? Which words don't sound good when you say them? You want to also conduct some mock interviews with a friend and get that real-time feedback. So have somebody sit with you and say, hey, interview me, ask me these questions, and then you rehearse them, right? So that you are prepared when you go into the interview. Now, remember, when I say this, it's not about memorizing, right? It's about knowing what information you want to share and how you want to share it. So you don't want to go in sounding like a robot. Welcome to the Workforce Link podcast, where we're offering forward-thinking conversations for the workforce, linking employers and job seekers to a brighter tomorrow. I'm your host, Sunday Jo Graham. Glad to be back with you for another episode. We're going to have some fun today and hopefully learn a thing or two along the way. So today's episode is all about owning your story, especially when you're gearing up for that nerve-wracking job interview. When you're in the hot seat, trying to sell yourself in a job interview, it's important to know that it's not just about knowing your past. It's about intimately understanding it. So grab your favorite beverage, sit back, and we're gonna dive in. Before we do that though, would love for you to share this episode with others. Maybe you've got a friend or a coworker who's getting ready for a new interview. Give them a boost of confidence with this episode. The more you share, the more people we get to help. And so thank you in advance for that. Now, let's get to today's episode on how to sell yourself with confidence in a job interview. So picture this, okay? You're in an interview. They're asking you about your journey, where you've been, what you've accomplished, where you're headed. That sounds simple, right? But how often do we forget like our weekend activities by Monday, what we ate yesterday, right? Or worse, we find ourselves stuck in the same loop of mistakes because we've yet to learn from our experiences. I've been there. I get it. That's why today we're going to break down the steps you need to take before each interview to ensure you present the best version of yourself. So it's like preparing you for a journey, right? You want to ensure that you come across as the competent professional that you truly are already. So the first thing you want to do, review your past. So you want to ask yourself these questions. Where have you worked? What roles did you hold? How long were you in each position? Make sure that you've practiced this, right? You already know the answers. You don't have to sit down and think about it. What unique experiences did you have? And most importantly, what did you learn from each of those experiences? Okay, so the first thing you want to do, review your past. The second thing you want to do is assess your present. So you want to take stock of your current situation. What's your current position now? What are your responsibilities now? How are you actively working on self-improvement right now? If you took a break, how are you using that time to your advantage? So that means like if you've got a big gap on your resume, how did you use that time to your advantage? Be ready to answer that question. So the second thing is you want to assess your present. The third thing, you want to envision your future. So what are your goals? What are your future goals? Not just your career goals, but what are your future goals? Do you plan to pursue more education maybe? Do you have your eye on a leadership role? What innovative ideas do you have to propel your industry forward? You want to be ready to answer those questions, okay? So number 3, envision your future. Are you ready to take your career to the next level? With the projected 27% industry growth rate, now is the time to invest in your future. Introducing our warehousing training program in partnership with JobPoint. Gain the Prologis Supply Chain Warehousing Certificate, OSHA 30, CPR, and more. Hands-on training and a comprehensive curriculum prepare you for success. Join us and become an assembler, forklift driver, warehouse operator, or even a warehouse lead. You can unlock a world of opportunities with paid vacation, bonuses, and more. Take advantage of the booming warehousing industry and enroll today. You can learn more at cwdregion.com/warehouse or find the link in this episode. All right, number 4, know who you are. So you want to dig deep and understand your strengths and your weaknesses. And ask yourself, what skills can you easily transfer to a new role or industry? You want to recognize the value of those transferable skills that you already have, okay? So number 4, know who you are. Number 5, practice, okay? This is crucial. Practice telling your stories. Which words sound good when you say them? Which words don't sound good when you say them? You want to also conduct some mock interviews with a friend and get that real-time feedback. So have somebody sit with you and say, hey, interview me, ask me these questions, and then you rehearse them, right? So that you are prepared when you go into the interview. Now, remember, when I say this, it's not about memorizing, right? It's about knowing what information you want to share and how you want to share it. So you don't want to go in sounding like a robot, right? Okay, so number 5, make sure you practice. So today's episode was quick and to the point, but let's do a quick recap of the steps you need to take to unlock your potential and embrace change. First thing you want to do, review your past. Number 2, assess your present. Number 3, envision your future. Number 4, know who you are. And number 5, practice, 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 okay? Practice does not make perfect, but practice does make progress. So remember this, that in the end, you're the one seeking the job, right? And as unique as you are, there's always another candidate that's just as good as you are, right? So by truly knowing who you are, you can confidently express your uniqueness to the interviewer. Show them who you are and why you're awesome, right? So you want to be able to embrace who you really are. Embrace your entire self before the interview. And then you're going to go in and you're going to project that confidence, that articulation, that self-awareness, right? You're going to be that individual that any employer would want on their team. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, would you mind sharing it with somebody else that you think could benefit? And don't forget to leave us a review. Let us know what you thought of this episode. It means a lot to us, helps us stay visible so others can find us. And if you need help with resume building, with job interview practice, with building up your confidence, don't hesitate to reach out to one of our Central Region Job Centers. We would love to help you today. You can find your nearest job center at cwdregion.com/job centers, or I will share the link in the show notes for you. Have a great week, my friend, and we will meet again in the next episode. Until then, remember this: there's always a brighter tomorrow if you're willing to find it. The Central Region Workforce Development Board Incorporated and COPIC are equal opportunity employers and programs. Auxiliary aids and services are available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Missouri Relay Services at 711.